Today's gospel and the second reading are important, not just to us as Christians living today, but also in the history of the church and as Americans as we celebrate Labor Day tomorrow. Both the gospel and the second reading speak to the notion of not just declaring one's faith, but living it. And they're used to bolster Roman Catholic arguments against Martin Luther and the notion of salvation through faith alone. Both also echo the words of the prophet Amos from 750 years before Jesus was born in chapters 5, verses 21 to 25. I despise your festivals, and I take no delight in your solemn assemblies. Even though you offer me your burnt offerings and grain offerings, I will not accept them. And the offerings of well-being of your fatted animals I will not look upon. Take away from me the noise of your songs. I will not listen to the melody of your harps, but let justice roll down like waters and righteousness like an ever-flowing stream. And ultimately, in reading these passages in the context of Amos, the Roman Catholic Church, the Lutheran churches, and the Anglican Communion have all come to a place of common ground. It is not that faith is merely about stating your belief in something and then living a selfish and self-centered life in which the welfare of those around you are ignored. And it is not that when we talk of works, we mean that the poorest among us should further impoverish themselves to build up religious institutions and construct or reconstruct major edifices. Rather, when we talk of works as an expression of faith, it is about seeing those around us as images of the divine, the face of God made human in our midst. It is about acting out of that faith and ensuring that those images are treated with the dignity and love they deserve, and that they have access to safe and sanitary living conditions, food, water, and healthcare. It is about ensuring that all are provided with the resources they need to contribute to our society, and the work they do is treated with dignity and respect. And this last piece, this recognizing the worth of all work and treating those who do it with dignity and respect, that is what Labor Day was created to recognize. In the late 19th century, millions of new Americans filled factories, mines, and other industrial facilities where they worked long hours in toxic conditions for low wages, while their families lived in tenements without indoor plumbing. Infant mortality rates were horrific. Workplace deaths and the loss of limbs, sight, and hearing were commonplace. Men, women, and children all toiled in these conditions from before sunrise until after sunset, 6 or even 7 days a week, with church services being the only reprieve in their lives. Labor Day was the result of the labor union movement and their push towards a 5-day, 40-hour work week, safe working conditions, and living wages. But despite being a secular holiday, it represents the fulfillment of the scriptures. Same work the labor movement did and that is commemorated on Labor Day is what James extolled. Religion that is pure and undefiled before God the Father is this: to care for the orphans and widows in their distress, and to keep oneself unstained in this world. It represents a calling which God has made across time and space in countless voices and tongues to love one another, and in this way show our love to God. Amen.